My girlfriend demanded I sell my house for her surgery, then cheated and tried to forge the sale. Now I'm finally free. I'm 34, male, and I own a small business, a house I paid off, and generally like to think I've got my life together. I'm not rich by any stretch, but I'm comfortable. It took years of grinding, saving, and discipline to get to where I am now. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon, so every dollar and every square foot of my house means something. This place isn't just some investment. It's home, and it nearly got taken from me because of one person. She and I have been dating for about 2 years. At first, things were great. She was fun, attractive, always up for a good time. But after the honeymoon phase ended, I started noticing little things. She always seemed to want more. More clothes, more trips, more status. It was like she saw life as a competition, and I had to be her ticket to the next level. I didn't mind treating her here and there, but after a while, it felt like I was her aim. She had expensive taste, luxury bags, fine dining, designer shoes. If something wasn't the best or the latest, she wasn't interested. I should have seen it coming, but I guess I was too deep in it. When you're with someone for long enough, you get used to their quirks, even if they're red flags. Then one night, after dinner, she dropped a bomb on me. We were sitting on the couch, and she casually brought up plastic surgery, as if she was talking about buying a new outfit. I've been thinking, I really want to get some work done, she said, scrolling through Instagram like she was just talking about her next hair appointment. You know, a nose job, maybe lip fillers, a boob job, just a few things. I wasn't shocked that she wanted it. She'd mentioned it in passing before. But what came next hit me like a truck. I found this amazing surgeon in LA. He's like the best. It'll cost about $40,000, but it's totally worth it. I paused. $40,000? She might as well have said $400. It was an absurd amount of money. Yeah, good luck with that, I said, half joking. But she wasn't laughing. Well, actually, I was thinking you could sell the house. I stared at her, thinking I must have misheard. Sell my house? Yeah, I mean, you don't really need all this space. We could rent somewhere smaller, and with the money from selling it, we could do my surgeries and have plenty left over for a new place. It's an investment in us. I just sat there dumbfounded. She was seriously asking me to sell my house. My house, the place I worked for years to own, so she could get cosmetic surgery. No, I said, shaking my head slowly. There's no way in hell I'm selling my house for that. She looked at me like I had just insulted her whole family. Are you serious? Dead serious. You're asking me to sell my house for something that's completely cosmetic. That's ridiculous. Her face twisted into this pouty, annoyed look. I thought you loved me. I thought you'd do anything for me. I do love you. But this is my house we're talking about. I'm not selling it. Period. She huffed and crossed her arms, glaring at me like I'd just ruined her entire life. You know, you're being really selfish right now. Selfish? You're asking me to sell the place I live for a nose job? See? Come on. She stormed out of the room, grabbed her stuff, and left without another word. I didn't hear from her for a couple of days. I figured she was just cooling off, and honestly, I was relieved to have some space. It gave me time to really think about how crazy the whole situation was. But when she did come back, it was like nothing had happened. She acted all sweet, brought over takeout, and tried to play it off like we'd just had a little argument. I wasn't having it. We need to talk about what happened the other night, I said, not even touching the food she brought. She sighed, clearly annoyed. You're still hung up on that? I was just thinking about our future, about how we can be better. Better by me selling my house? You seriously don't see how crazy that sounds? She rolled her eyes. Fine. I was emotional. But don't you think I deserve to feel good about myself? I'm not saying you don't, but I'm not selling my house for plastic surgery. It's not happening. And then things started to change. Subtly at first. She became distant, started going out more, staying late with friends, making excuses about work dinners. At first, I didn't think much of it. We all have our own lives, right? But then I started noticing things that didn't add up. A few nights in a row, she'd come home late, avoiding eye contact, acting off. Then, one night, she left her phone on the kitchen counter when she went to the bathroom. It buzzed. I glanced at it, thinking it might be her mom or something. But the name wasn't one I recognized. And the message wasn't something a friend would send. Last night was amazing. Can't wait to see you again. I felt this sinking feeling in my gut. Against my better judgment, I opened the thread. It wasn't just one message. It was dozens. And it wasn't just flirting. It was clear they'd been seeing each other. And it had been going on for a while. She came out of the bathroom, saw me standing there with her phone in my hand, and froze. "What the hell is this?" I asked, my voice steady, though I was boiling inside. She tried to play dumb. "What are you talking about?" I held up the phone. "You know exactly what I'm talking about. Who the hell is this guy?" She walked over, snatched the phone out of my hand, and glared at me. "You had no right to go through my phone. Are you serious right now? That's your response? You've been cheating on me, and you're mad I looked at your phone?" She crossed her arms, still glaring. "Maybe if you gave me what I wanted, I wouldn't have to look elsewhere." I couldn't believe it. She was actually blaming me for her cheating. "You gotta be kidding me. You cheat on me, and it's my fault because I didn't sell my phone. You sold my house for your damn surgery? Are you even hearing yourself?" She just shrugged, completely unfazed. "You weren't giving me what I needed." I stood there, staring at her, realizing I didn't even know the person standing in front of me anymore. "Get out." She looked taken aback. "What?" "You heard me. Get your stuff and get out. We're done." For a second, I thought she was going to argue, but then she just shrugged again, like it was no big deal. She grabbed her purse, threw some clothes into a bag, and left without even looking back. I thought that was the end of it. But, oh no, she wasn't done. A week later, I got a call from a realtor. Apparently, she had gone behind my back and tried to list my house for sale. She had forged my signature on some documents and had actually started the process of getting it listed on the market. The realtor thought it was strange that I hadn't contacted them directly, so they reached out to confirm. When I found out, I saw red. Not only had she cheated on me, but she had also tried to steal my house. It was insane. I immediately called the cops and filed a report for fraud. I wasn't about to let her get away with this. She was lucky I didn't press charges beyond that. Part of me wanted to just wash my hands of the whole thing, but it didn't stop there. A few days after I shut down her little house selling scheme, she started texting me again. At first, it was all apologies, claiming she made a mistake and that she loved me. When I ignored her, she shifted gears and started playing the victim, telling me she was struggling, that she was about to get evicted, that she had nowhere to go. "I know you still care about me. Please, just let me crash with you for a little while. I have nowhere else." I didn't respond. I was done with her games. But she kept pushing, showing up at my place with takeout like we could just eat dinner and pretend none of this had happened. "Can we just talk?" she said, standing at my door with this fake smile plastered on her face. "I know you miss me." I looked at her, not even bothering to hide my frustration. "We have nothing to talk about. You cheated. You tried to sell my house behind my back. We're done, see?" She switched tactics immediately. "You're really going to throw everything away? Just like that? We've been through so much together." I stepped back, keeping the door half closed. "Yeah, I'm throwing it away. You did that the second you went behind my back." She glared at me, but eventually she left. But even after that, she kept trying. I started hearing from mutual friends that she was spreading rumors about me, telling people I was the one who had cheated, that I had kicked her out unfairly, and even that I owed her money. It was absurd. People who knew me didn't believe her, but the rumors still did some damage. I had clients calling, asking if everything was all right, wondering if the stories she was spreading were true. She knew where to hit me. My reputation. My business. That's when I knew she wasn't going to stop. She wasn't just trying to get back into my life. She was trying to ruin it. I confronted her once, hoping maybe, just maybe, she had some shred of decency left. "Why are you doing this?" I asked, cornering her outside a coffee shop where I knew she liked to hang out. She had her sunglasses on, sipping some overpriced latte like she didn't have a care in the world. She looked up at me with that same smug expression I'd grown to hate. "You should have just given me what I wanted. You wouldn't be in this mess if you'd listened." I laughed bitterly. "You think you're punishing me? You think spreading lies is going to get me to take you back?" She shrugged. "It's not about getting back with you anymore. It's about making sure you realize what you lost." I stood there, speechless for a second, realizing there was no point in arguing with her. She was delusional, living in some twisted version of reality where she was the victim and I was the villain. I wasn't going to play her game anymore. "That's fine," I said. "Do what you need to do, but stay the hell away from me." I walked away, feeling lighter. It wasn't about winning or losing at that point. I was done. Done with her manipulation, her lies, and her need to control everything around her. After that, I tightened up everything. I locked down my social media, made sure my business was ironclad, and started rebuilding. Slowly, the rumors died out. People stopped asking questions, and the chaos she had stirred up started to fade. She moved on to some other guy, from what I heard, some dude with more money than sense. I almost felt bad for him, but then again, he'd figure it out eventually, just like I did. A few months later, I was sitting in my living room, in the house I almost lost because of her, and I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time, peace. I wasn't looking over my shoulder anymore. I wasn't dealing with the stress of her bullshit. It was just me, in the place I worked so hard to own, enjoying the quiet. I'm not bitter. If anything, I learned a lot from the whole mess. I learned that you can't ignore the red flags, no matter how much you want things to work. I learned that someone who truly loves you will never ask you to give up the things you've built for yourself. And most of all, I learned that it's okay to walk away from something, even if it's hard, even if it hurts, if it means protecting your peace. I'm not in a rush to jump into anything serious again. Maybe one day I'll find someone who gets it, someone who's not just looking for what I can give them, but actually values what we can build together. But for now, I'm good. I've got my business, my house, and my life back. And that's enough for me. So yeah, that's my story. It's a lesson I had to learn the hard way, but I'm better for it. If there's one piece of advice I'd give to anyone, it's this: trust your gut. If something feels off, don't wait until it blows up in your face. Stand your ground, and don't let anyone take what you've worked so hard to build. And if someone ever asks you to sell your house for a boob job, run. Trust me, run. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you have any thoughts, I'd love to hear them. So please leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more stories like this one.